Life presents us with conflicts at every turn, but it's our approach to these challenges that truly matters. The ancient Stoic philosophers, including Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, mastered the art of remaining composed in the face of adversity. Their wisdom teaches us to maintain self-control and pursue peaceful resolutions without resorting to hostility. In this discourse, we'll explore 11 powerful Stoic strategies for overcoming your adversaries without engaging in direct confrontation. Prepare yourself to apply these profound principles to surmount any obstacle and become unstoppable. Number 1. Uncover your opponent's motivations. Conflict is unavoidable, but have you considered the underlying reasons why someone might stand against you? Picture yourself on a battlefield, not of weapons, but of wills. Instead of impulsive reactions, take a moment to perceive the deeper currents driving your opponent's actions. In Stoic philosophy, mastery over conflict begins with self-mastery. True power lies not in retaliating, but in comprehending your adversary's fears, desires, and insecurities, enabling you to outmaneuver them without direct confrontation. Look around. Competition permeates our world, whether in professional settings or social circles. People are conditioned to think in terms of winning or defeating others. However, Stoicism teaches that genuine strength stems from psychological insight, not brute force. To overcome an enemy without fighting, you must look beneath the surface and understand what drives them. What wounds fuel their hostility? Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic Roman emperor, faced numerous enemies throughout his reign. Rather than resorting to violence, he advised observing calmly and understanding the forces at play. His words, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy," remind us that clarity triumphs over chaos. By remaining calm while others are consumed by anger, you rise above the fray. Consider a modern scenario. A colleague undermines you, spreading rumors or manipulating situations. Your initial instinct may be to retaliate, but the Stoic approach suggests otherwise. Pause and reflect. What drives their behavior? It could be insecurity or fear. By understanding their mindset, you gain control. Rather than reacting emotionally, you can outsmart them and succeed without conflict. This approach isn't passive. It's about strength through understanding. Like a general surveying the terrain before battle, you must survey your opponent's mind. Knowledge becomes your weapon, keeping you composed while others flail. As Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." True bravery lies in having the courage to observe, understand, and act with precision. Ultimately, Stoicism teaches that real victory is not in defeating your enemy, but in mastering yourself. By understanding your opponent's motivations, you free yourself from anger and gain clarity. With that clarity comes control, not just over the situation, but over yourself. This is the ultimate victory. Number 2. Select your battles judiciously. In the cacophony of daily life, where opinions and conflicts intertwine ceaselessly, it's crucial to discern which battles are truly worth your energy. The Stoic principle of choosing your battles wisely isn't merely about avoiding unnecessary conflicts. It's about engaging in those that genuinely matter, ensuring that each confrontation adds substantive value to your life. In today's world, we're bombarded with opportunities to engage in disputes, whether on social media platforms, in workplace settings, or even within our own families. It's easy to feel compelled to jump into every argument, to defend every position, but Stoicism teaches us the art of strategic disengagement. This philosophy advocates for a selective approach to conflicts, emphasizing that not all battles are worthy of our time and energy. Consider the scenario of a typical workplace conflict, perhaps a disagreement over a project's direction. While it might be tempting to stand your ground on every detail, Stoicism would advise us to assess the stakes involved. Is this disagreement crucial to the project's success, or is it a matter of personal ego? By choosing to engage only in conflicts that directly impact the project's outcome, you conserve your energy for decisions that truly matter, promoting efficiency and reducing workplace stress. Similarly, on social media, it's common to encounter varying opinions and heated debates. Engaging in every one of these can be draining and often fruitless. Stoicism teaches us to step back and evaluate the importance of these debates in our overall life. Does correcting a stranger's opinion on Twitter contribute to your well-being or goals? If not, then it's a battle not worth fighting. Stoicism, with its roots deeply embedded in rational thought and emotional control, offers a robust framework for managing life's inevitable conflicts. By applying this Stoic filter, we not only make strategic choices about where to invest our energies, but also maintain our inner peace and focus on our long-term goals. Choosing your battles wisely is not about passive avoidance, but about active engagement in matters that align with your values and positively impact your life. This discernment leads to a more purposeful and tranquil existence, hallmarks of the Stoic way of life. In embracing the Stoic way, you gain not just freedom from unnecessary conflicts, but also the freedom to pursue endeavors that truly matter, paving the way for a life of purpose and peace. Number 3. Communicate with composure and lucidity. In the philosophy of Stoicism, one of the most potent ways to confront adversity without engaging in direct conflict is to speak with calm and clarity. This principle emphasizes control not over others, but over ourselves. Stoics believe that while external circumstances are beyond our control, how we respond to them is entirely up to us. When faced with conflict, maintaining a calm demeanor not only preserves our sense of self-control, but also weakens the influence of our adversary, preventing them from destabilizing us. True strength lies in restraint, in the ability to stay composed even when chaos surrounds us. A classic example of this can be found in the life of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Throughout his reign, he faced opposition both on the battlefield and within his own court. Yet his writings in Meditations reveal how he maintained inner peace by responding with measured and thoughtful words. Marcus Aurelius believed that by staying calm and speaking clearly, he could navigate even the most volatile situations while remaining true to his values. Rather than letting anger or frustration cloud his judgment, he sought to align his words with reason, not emotion. In today's world, we often find ourselves in situations where calm communication could prevent unnecessary escalation. Picture a heated argument at work where a colleague aggressively challenges your viewpoint. Instead of reacting emotionally, you could pause, take a breath, and respond with clarity and thoughtfulness. You might say, "I understand your perspective and appreciate your passion for this issue. Let's work together to find a solution." This response not only diffuses tension, but also demonstrates leadership and emotional intelligence, qualities highly valued in both Stoic philosophy and modern life. By consistently practicing calm and clear communication, we strengthen our self-discipline and earn the respect of those around us. This approach has the potential to turn enemies into allies, as they can no longer manipulate or provoke us into emotional reactions. Additionally, speaking clearly ensures that our message is understood without distortion, allowing our ideas to stand on their own merits. In Stoicism, the focus is always on what we can control. As Epictetus, another prominent Stoic philosopher, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In this sense, speaking with calmness and clarity is not just a communication technique, It is a demonstration of inner strength and self-mastery. The next time you encounter conflict, remember that your words are a reflection of your inner state. Choose them wisely, with calmness and clarity, and you'll see the powerful impact this Stoic approach can have in dismantling conflict without ever needing to fight. Number 4. Pursue the common ground. Conflict often feels like an endless struggle, but there is a more intelligent way to manage it. Sometimes the most effective strategy isn't using force, but finding common ground. Stoicism teaches that recognizing our shared humanity and interests can prevent conflicts from escalating. This idea of seeking the shared path turns adversaries into allies, enabling us to achieve far more through collaboration than confrontation. Much of what we perceive as conflict stems from misunderstanding, not true opposition. Whether in work relationships or global affairs, many disputes arise from focusing too much on differences rather than shared objectives. The Stoics, who valued reason and logic, emphasized the importance of acknowledging these common goals to resolve disputes and turn conflict into an opportunity for growth. A historical example is Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic Roman emperor, who encountered significant opposition during his reign. Instead of reacting with aggression, he sought to understand the intentions of those against him. Through this lens, he often discovered that these supposed enemies shared similar goals, namely, the prosperity and stability of Rome. By seeking common ground, Marcus avoided unnecessary conflict and fostered cooperation for the greater good. The Stoic principle that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters, reminds us to step back and reflect on the bigger picture in moments of disagreement. It's easy to get caught up in defending our own position, yet before intensifying opposition, asking, what can we both gain from this? Shifts focus from adversarial to collaborative thinking, leading to more productive resolutions. In modern business, this Stoic approach is particularly effective. Rival companies often seem at odds, fighting for market dominance. However, by seeking mutual benefits, competitors can collaborate, innovate together, and better serve their customers. This transformation from rivals to partners reduces unnecessary friction and creates shared success. Applying Stoicism in such scenarios requires emotional control and logical thinking. Rather than impulsively reacting, Stoicism encourages us to pause and reflect. Is this conflict meaningful, or is it a distraction from a larger goal? This mindset diffuses tensions, helps find common ground, and enables both sides to work toward a mutually beneficial solution. In both personal and professional conflicts, the idea of finding common ground can lead to more harmonious outcomes. By shifting from confrontation to cooperation, we can turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Instead of seeing opposition as a battle, Stoicism encourages us to see it as an opportunity for understanding and cooperation, leading to personal and collective success. However, beyond seeking common goals, Stoicism teaches us a deeper strategy, applying to our own inner values. Rather than confronting an enemy, standing firm on our personal principles and acting in accordance with our values can help resolve conflict without fighting. Number 5. Appeal to their inner values. Have you ever been in a conflict where you felt like fighting back, but wondered if there was a way to win without fighting? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, teaches that true victory comes from mastering yourself, not your opponent. By staying true to your inner values, you can neutralize your enemies without ever retaliating. In today's world, conflict is everywhere, in the workplace, in relationships, and online. The temptation to react is strong, but Stoicism offers a different approach. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic, said, The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. This means that the key to defeating your enemies is not letting them drag you down to their level. By acting with integrity and calmness, you will render their attacks ineffective. Imagine someone at work publicly discredits you. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, Stoicism encourages you to pause. What would your values-based response be? By remaining calm and not reacting emotionally, you will be in control of the situation. Your enemy, who was expecting a fight, will no longer have any power over you. This is how you can destroy your enemy without even engaging in battle. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, reminds us that we are not disturbed by events themselves, but by how we interpret them. For example, if someone spreads a rumor about you, you might spend energy trying to defend yourself. But Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions and reactions. By living by principles like honesty and integrity, you weaken the influence your enemies have over you, no matter what they say or do. Take the example of Cato the Younger, a Stoic in ancient Rome. Despite being under great pressure, he refused to betray his principles for political gain. Although he did not win in the traditional sense, his legacy as a man of integrity far outlasted those who sought power through deception. In the long run, his values were his greatest weapon. By appealing to your inner values during times of conflict, you gain emotional freedom. Instead of wasting energy on revenge, you focus on what really matters. This approach not only protects you from external attacks, but also allows you to stand firm on your principles. So the next time you find yourself in a conflict, ask yourself, what do my values tell me to do in this moment? Align your actions with your core principles, whether they're patience, integrity, or courage. As you do, you'll find that conflict loses its power over you. This is the Stoic way to win without fighting. By being true to yourself, you'll reap immediate benefits, a sense of peace, emotional control, and the satisfaction of knowing you've won a victory greater than any battle could ever bring. Now, take a moment to reflect. How can you use your inner values to handle your next challenge? Share your thoughts in the comments below and commit to facing your next conflict by acting in a way that aligns with your highest self. Number 6. Use humor wisely in conflict resolution. Humor, when used thoughtfully, is a powerful tool in conflict resolution, not as a way to downplay the problem, but as a means to approach tension with grace and emotional control. In Stoicism, the ability to control one's emotional reactions is a central virtue, and humor can be a valuable ally in this process. The Stoics believed that maintaining calm during adversity was one of the highest virtues, and humor creates a space to step back from our emotions, offering clarity and allowing for a more measured and productive response. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, offers timeless wisdom on managing anger and frustration in his famous work, Meditations. He often reminds himself to rise above negative emotions, urging a calm and detached approach to difficult situations. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy, he wrote, emphasizing inner tranquility over reactionary anger. While humor is not explicitly mentioned in his writings, the Stoic practice of controlling emotional responses aligns perfectly with using humor to diffuse tension before it escalates into conflict. In modern life, humor serves as a bridge that can break down barriers, especially in heated situations. Imagine being in a tense workplace argument where voices rise and the conversation becomes a stalemate. Then, someone makes a clever, respectful joke that acknowledges the intensity of the moment while subtly reminding everyone that they are still on the same team. The laughter that follows doesn't erase the issue at hand, but dissolves the animosity, enabling a more open and productive dialogue. A real-life example of this happened in a boardroom meeting where two colleagues were locked in a heated debate over project priorities. Just when the conversation seemed to be going nowhere, one of them remarked, "Well, at least we can both agree that neither of us is getting a vacation anytime soon." The room erupted in laughter, and the light-hearted comment allowed both parties to reset, step back from the tension, and find common ground. From there, they were able to discuss their disagreements more calmly and productively. The teachings of Stoicism remind us to focus on what we can control, and humor is one way to control the emotional climate of a conversation. By introducing humor, we can transform a tense moment into an opportunity for connection, allowing both sides to regain perspective and work together toward a common goal. Humor is not about ignoring conflict, but about handling it with emotional intelligence that benefits everyone involved. It can turn hostility into cooperation and transform an adversary into an ally. So the next time you face a conflict, consider the Stoic approach. Remain calm, and if the moment allows, use humor to diffuse tension and create space for resolution. If you believe that this approach, using humor wisely in conflict resolution, can help you, comment 1 below. Make this commitment, and when you revisit this topic, you'll see how much progress you've made in mastering conflict resolution. Number 7. Extend empathy. Have you ever felt the sting of betrayal or the overwhelming urge to retaliate when someone wrongs you? Instead of seeking revenge, what if you could disarm your adversary without saying a word? This is the power of empathy, a core Stoic tactic that not only elevates your character but also resolves conflict more effectively than anger or force ever could. In a world that often glorifies confrontation and revenge, empathy stands out as a radical yet incredibly powerful tool. Stoicism teaches that true strength isn't found in how aggressively we fight back, but in how calmly and strategically we respond. Empathy isn't about surrendering or accepting defeat. It's about understanding the root of someone's actions, cutting through the noise to see what truly drives their behavior. By understanding your adversary, you gain control not only of the situation, but also of yourself. Today, we are often encouraged to respond quickly and aggressively to any challenge, whether it's an argument online or a conflict at work. But this immediate impulsive reaction only escalates the situation, creating unnecessary stress and drama. Stoicism suggests a better way. By practicing empathy, you can change the entire dynamic of any interaction. Instead of getting drawn into a cycle of anger and revenge, you remain clear-headed. You become the calm center in a storm, seeing the bigger picture while others get swept up in the moment. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of understanding others rather than judging them harshly. In Meditations, he reminds us that everyone we meet is fighting a battle we can't see. Empathy, therefore, is not about controlling the other person. It's about mastering your own emotions and reactions. This is the essence of Stoic power, refusing to let others dictate how you feel or behave. Could it be that the hostility you face from your enemy is more about their internal struggles than it is about you? Could their actions be driven by fear, insecurity, or past experiences? How would your interactions change if you approach them with understanding instead of anger? Empathy opens the door to these questions, allowing you to diffuse hostility while maintaining your own dignity and peace. When faced with a difficult situation, challenge yourself to pause and observe instead of reacting impulsively. Seek to understand before demanding to be understood. Empathy doesn't mean accepting mistreatment. It means not allowing someone else's behavior to disrupt your inner peace. This quiet strength is central to Stoic practice, acting in alignment with your values, instead of being dragged into the chaos of conflict. By choosing empathy, you break the cycle of anger and retribution. You become unshakable, not by defeating your adversary, but by refusing to mirror their actions. So, when was the last time you chose empathy in a challenging situation? How did it change the outcome? Share your story, and let's inspire each other to choose understanding over conflict, embodying this transformative Stoic principle. Number 8. Embrace the art of compromise. In a world where words often cut as deep as swords, real strength lies not in overpowering others, but in mastering the art of subtlety and strategy. Have you ever been caught in a conflict that left you feeling drained rather than victorious? Imagine achieving success without engaging in a fight at all. Compromise isn't about surrender, it's about rising above the fray, embodying the Stoic principle of conquering without confrontation. Conflicts are part of our daily lives, whether at work, at home, or in social settings. Modern culture often glorifies the idea of standing firm at all costs, but this approach can damage relationships and leave lasting scars. The Stoics teach us that true power is not found in defeating others, but in mastering ourselves and choosing battles wisely. Compromise turns potential conflicts into opportunities for growth, turning adversaries into allies and creating harmony over hostility. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, emphasized that our strength lies in how we respond to situations, not in trying to control others. In any disagreement, you can either escalate the conflict or find a balanced resolution. Imagine a heated negotiation where both sides refuse to budge. Instead of forcing your position, step back, listen, and propose a solution that seeks common ground. This doesn't mean giving up. It's about reshaping the situation and using compromise as a strategic tool. Just as the Stoics would, reflect on past arguments where you refused to compromise. Did that victory feel as rewarding as you'd hoped, or did it leave bitterness behind? Compromise offers a different path, one that lets you uphold your values while easing tensions. Meeting in the middle is not about losing, but about dissolving conflicts wisely. This approach captures the essence of Stoicism, staying calm, composed, and in control amid adversity. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, often chose diplomacy over conflict. Faced with numerous threats, he frequently opted for negotiation, valuing peace over war. His leadership showed that real strength involves prioritizing harmony, preserving stability, and understanding that winning doesn't always require a fight. When was the last time you compromised out of choice rather than necessity? Imagine viewing compromise as a strategic advantage rather than a loss. Next time you find yourself in conflict, pause to understand the other side. Find a point of agreement, however small, and offer a solution that respects both positions. This isn't about conceding, it's about maintaining integrity and relationships. Embracing the art of compromise gives you something more valuable than a fleeting victory: the ability to maintain peace, command respect, and rise above conflict. It's a way to break free from constant battles and find power in diplomacy. Commit to approaching your next disagreement with a mindset open to compromise. Share your experiences and reflect on how compromise has empowered you. Together, we can cultivate a community guided by Stoic principles, winning by choosing not to fight. Number 9. Seek external aid without shame. Have you ever hesitated to ask for help, worried it might make you seem weak or incapable? In Stoicism, seeking external aid is not a sign of weakness, but an expression of wisdom. The Stoics recognized that life's challenges often demand collaboration, and relying solely on oneself is not always the smartest strategy. Instead, They advocated for seeking support from others as a way to gain strength and broaden one's perspective. In today's world, many people equate independence with strength, viewing asking for help as a failure to manage on their own. This mindset only breeds isolation and burnout. Yet, as Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "We all need to help each other out. We must show gratitude, express our thanks, and accept help without embarrassment." For the Stoics, seeking aid was not about showing weakness, but about using all available resources to achieve success. This approach can transform the way we handle challenges. Imagine how much more manageable life would be if, instead of trying to carry every burden alone, you reached out for assistance when needed. Even Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most respected Stoic leaders, relied on his advisors and friends to navigate the complexities of ruling the Roman Empire. His willingness to seek help demonstrated that true strength lies not in isolation, but in knowing when to draw on the support of others. When we open ourselves to the insights of those around us, we find solutions and perspectives we might have otherwise missed. Pride often prevents us from taking this step. Have you ever considered that asking for help might actually make you more effective in your personal and professional life? The Stoics believed that setting aside ego and embracing collaboration led to greater wisdom and capability. By recognizing when we need external aid, we align with a core Stoic principle. Strength is found in adaptability and openness, not stubborn self-reliance. To apply this Stoic mindset, think about an area in your life where you've been struggling. It might be a difficult project at work, a personal issue, or a decision you've been avoiding. Reaching out to someone with insight, a mentor, colleague, or friend, can provide clarity and open up new paths forward. Far from being a sign of defeat, asking for help is an intelligent, strategic move toward overcoming obstacles. When you seek external aid without shame, you free yourself from the burden of pride. The Stoics understood that collaboration fosters growth and resilience, enabling you to face life's challenges with greater strength. Marcus Aurelius himself said, "If anyone can show me my error, I will gladly change." This Stoic openness to correction and assistance is not a weakness, but a form of strength. By embracing this mindset, you position yourself to achieve more effectively and with less struggle. Consider a challenge you're currently facing. Who can you reach out to for help or advice? Taking that step today could be the key to overcoming it, and you may find that true strength lies not in going it alone, but in knowing when to seek support. Number 10. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful Stoic tools to destroy your enemies without ever engaging in a fight. At first glance, forgiveness might seem like a passive or even weak response, especially in a world where retaliation and revenge are often seen as signs of strength. However, in Stoicism, true strength lies in mastering your emotions and maintaining inner peace. When you forgive, you are not letting your enemy win, but rather you are freeing yourself from the toxic grip of resentment. Forgiveness doesn't mean you excuse or forget the harm done. It means you refuse to let it control your emotions and your life. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." This reflects a core Stoic belief that our reactions to events matter more than the events themselves. In the context of an enemy, it's easy to become consumed by anger, letting their actions poison your mind. But in choosing forgiveness, you reclaim your mental clarity and emotional freedom. You dismantle the power they hold over you by denying them the satisfaction of your suffering. In a very real sense, forgiving your enemy is an act of self-preservation. It's a way to safeguard your inner tranquility, which is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. In modern life, We are constantly confronted with situations where forgiveness can be our greatest weapon. For example, imagine a colleague who undermines you at work, spreading rumors and attempting to damage your reputation. The natural instinct might be to retaliate, to get even. However, a Stoic approach would be to forgive them, not for their sake, but for yours. By letting go of the anger and resentment, you maintain control over your emotional state. You remain focused on what truly matters: your work, your growth, and your inner peace. The act of forgiveness doesn't mean you ignore the behavior, but rather you rise above it, refusing to let it consume you. Forgiveness is also about recognizing the humanity in your enemy. Stoics believed that all people are flawed, and we all make mistakes. By forgiving, you acknowledge this shared human experience while also freeing yourself from the burden of hostility. This doesn't mean becoming a doormat or tolerating harmful behavior. It means that you choose to protect your own well-being, no longer allowing the actions of others to dictate your emotional state. In a world where conflict seems inevitable, practicing Stoic forgiveness gives you a significant advantage. It allows you to destroy your enemy's influence over your emotions without ever engaging in a fight. By choosing forgiveness, you become untouchable in a way that no amount of retaliation could achieve. You preserve your peace, your strength, and your clarity, and in doing so, you live by the highest Stoic ideal: mastering yourself, not your circumstances. Number 11. You control your reactions. In the chaos of life, it often feels like we're at the mercy of external events. But the truth is, the real power lies in how we choose to respond. Stoicism, a philosophy practiced by ancient thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, teaches us that while we can't control what happens to us, we can always control our reactions. This ability to manage our emotions and responses, even in the face of provocation or adversity, is the key to maintaining inner peace and strength. Imagine you're in a heated argument with a colleague. They're raising their voice, criticizing you unfairly, and clearly trying to provoke a reaction. Your natural instinct might be to argue back, defend yourself, or even lash out. But what if instead you remained calm, took a deep breath, and chose not to engage in the emotional whirlwind? This isn't about suppressing your feelings, but about mastering them. By controlling your reaction, you retain your power and composure. Your calmness in the face of their anger renders their efforts to destabilize you ineffective. One powerful example of Stoic practice comes from Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor. Despite ruling one of the largest empires in history, facing constant political intrigue, war, and personal losses, he famously maintained his composure. His Meditations, a collection of personal reflections, shows how he constantly reminded himself to focus on what he could control, his thoughts and reactions, while accepting external events as they were. He writes, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This principle is not only ancient wisdom, it has practical applications in modern life. Whether you're facing criticism at work, dealing with a difficult family member, or navigating social media conflicts, your reactions shape the outcome. Consider this: someone insults you in front of others. If you respond with anger, you fuel the conflict, giving them control over your emotional state. But if you choose to remain calm and composed, you maintain your dignity, and their words lose power. This reaction doesn't just protect your inner peace, it also disarms the other person, leaving them with no fuel to continue the fight. The essence of Stoicism is understanding that external events are beyond our control, but our reactions to them are fully within our grasp. This philosophy encourages us to focus inward, mastering our thoughts and emotions to navigate the challenges of life with grace and resilience. It's a mindset that not only destroys your enemies by neutralizing their ability to provoke you, but also gives you the ultimate freedom, control over your own mind. Apply the techniques from Stoic philosophy discussed in this discourse to handle conflicts with calmness and understanding. By practicing these 11 methods, you can approach any conflict with composure, turning adversaries into opportunities for personal growth and creating long-lasting solutions based on empathy and reason. As you practice these techniques, you'll notice your life becoming more harmonious, your relationships improving, and you'll no longer be drawn into unnecessary conflicts. If you find this discourse helpful, please like, share, and leave a comment about the lessons you've applied from Stoicism.